Let's play darts. Oh my goodness, nearly did it for you. So close. Oh my goodness. Oh wow, there we go, a 140, but probably, well, 100% my best 3 darts I've ever kicked this off with. Tremendous. It might come one day. That's absolutely fantastic, and actually it's very good I just hit that because I've changed something. I'm trialing something. I've basically discovered something about my throw that I need to change. And today we're going to be showing a little bit more of a clip that you haven't seen before from my throw analysis from straight to the point. Now I had that throw analysis done, it must be about 3 months ago now. And at first I was just overwhelmed with so much. I mean, basically you get your throw analysed and you see every single thing that you do wrong, or certain things that you are not consistent with good players. Because we all have our sort of unique grips, our unique styles of throw and where we throw the dart from and all various bits and pieces. But there are some things that are principles that run through everybody's game when you watch the players at the top level. For example, a pre-shot routine. And yeah, I guess I've looked over the analysis so many times and it's fantastic. It's so thorough that towards the end of the analysis, there was some information that I just had never got to that I finally got to. Sorry, I'm still in awe at the fact that I hit a 140 there. And I am getting better at those. But let's not get off topic here, because I'm going to show you a 2 or 3 minute part of my throw analysis. This is from a different angle. So the throw analysis you've seen so far has been everything from the side. If you ever get a throw analysis done from Daniel at Straight to the Point, he will ask you to send some video footage of you throwing darts from the side angle and from straight on. And this is from the straight on angle, which is very interesting because I'm not sure if any of you notice, I'm a strange person. I'm very weird and unusual, and I'm okay with that. But also my throw is slightly weird and unusual. Because when you see me throw it, it's pretty standard, right? But there's things that the untrained eye wouldn't know. So enough talking from me. Let's run that analysis and I'll let you have a look for yourself.
Now from front on, we're just going to check the alignment. So you can see your elbow just in that little blue circle I've placed. The arms up nice and tall. Alright, draw back more to the centre of the face, but the elbow's pointing in towards your left. So this is a little bit of an anomaly. It's rare you see this happening. And look at the elbows kicking out. Because you draw into the centre of your face, that elbow's really, really starting to kick out. But it's still pointing over to the left a little bit. But you've got your elbow pointing over to your left, trying to hit something in front of you, so you're now going to have to move the elbow sideways, or flick at an angle. That elbow's definitely coming out a little bit. That's better though, you're finding it quite well as you go through. That was pretty straight, it's just consistency that's going to kill you. Okay. We want the elbow and shoulder to be down the same path we're trying to throw the entire time. And we don't want to be changing the angle on the forearm. So the forearm's nice and straight. You draw back, creating quite a big angle on it. Now you're having to straighten it up, which is why your elbow's moving over to the left as you go through. We want to try and keep it in this position and draw to your left eye, or we're going to have to stand over to the left of the hockey. Normally, when a player's elbow wants to point into the right as a left-handed player, they're normally very left-eye dominant, and they'll put the elbow and shoulder down the same path they want it out to fly, albeit at an angle across the hockey, so to the left they'll be standing in that case. It's a statistical probability due to the way the hand-eye coordination works for that player, but in your case you feel the need to draw to the centre of your face, so I want you to do an eye dominancy test. If you're left-eye dominant, we're going to keep the elbow in, stand to the left, and we're going to draw more to the left eye, keeping the elbow and shoulder down the same path, keeping the same angle of your arm, so the elbow isn't moving sideways at all. I'll show you a trick with a bit of string to do that. If you are right-eye dominant, then you're going to need to aim with a little bit more angle on your arm and stand over to the right of the hockey. A little bit like Jose de Sousa, for example, or Phil Taylor. The same trick with the string will apply. Keep the elbow and shoulder pointing down the same path you want the dart to fly. If you're right, they're dominant, more angle on the forearm and keep the same angle the entire time. So you're throwing with that angle. Don't try to straighten the arm up as you go through. If you look at Taylor, again, elbow and shoulder down the center of the oche, because that's where he's trying to hit. Still a big angle on his arm, still draws to his left eye. Draws more to the left eye now than he did when he was a full-time pro. But he keeps the same angle of his arm. So when his arm goes straight, look at that angle. He's going for double 16. He's still got that angle on it, on his arm.
There we go, back to normal there, the 7. So that's darts for you. So yeah, you just saw that throw analysis of me sort of straight on here. And one thing I did pick up when I've seen the analysis so many times, but I sort of just left it because I was a little bit confused by it for a long time. I looked over it the last few days and I've spent a little bit of time understanding it and experimenting. And basically, if I want to describe what Daniel basically just said, my elbow wants to veer out this way. And I knew that from the start because I could see myself throwing. So I personally have always tried to tuck it in and almost fight it. I've tried to fight it. And without knowing, as I fight it, it pops out anyway. And then you look at those players like D'Souza, even Taylor, and you look at the extreme version of somebody like Bobby George with his throwing at that sort of angle. I need to lean into it. And for a little while, I was standing on this right-hand side of the oche, trying to throw darts like this, and wasn't really getting much up. I've moved over to this side because I guess if my elbow's out this way, I can throw in line, if that makes sense. So I've got more of a line that I feel comfortable with. Whereas this way, I'm sort of throwing away. Don't know if that makes any sense, but I've had more luck on this side of the oche. I'm not 100% sure if that's right or not, if I'm honest. But yesterday, I was experimenting and my scores were just going down. Averages were going down. I was just not playing as well. But I took 2 things from that. One is, A, I could be doing things wrong. And B, I think you need to give some time to these changes because your body's not used to it. If that's not how you've thrown before, it's going to take some time. You're going to drop down in performance until you get a bit better and get used to it. So this morning I've been playing, I feel like I'm playing better. So the difference is what I'm personally doing is I moved to this side of the oche much more of an angle on this side. Now this is going to take some time because when I'm throwing at doubles, I like to be in line. So if I'm throwing at an 11, traditionally I like to be in line with it and throw a straight dart, but I'm almost having to come over a bit further. I'm not quite in line, but can I still hit it? I've been okay. And we're going to do a few doubles today. Limited time today because I've obviously shown you the video and I'm mainly talking about perhaps what I need to change, what I'm going to change, what I'm going to be trying to do. And I really recommend just seeing if you have that angle. Now, it could be natural, or as Daniel was talking about, even though I'm left-handed, I'm right eye dominant. So that would explain that I'm trying to get this eye in more and having that slight angle to do so. But I'm also an unusual human, so don't just do this if it might not apply to you, basically. And I would recommend getting your own throw analysis. Not only have I found it extremely useful, I found it extremely entertaining just to go through every day, at least 2 or 3 times a week. I'll put it on in the background when I'm throwing, and it will just be little reminders of things I'm doing. And my throw analysis, there's still a million things I need to change, but if you can just pick out one for, let's say, a month, one little piece of advice, one thing you can change and then keep changing, I found that has helped me progress so far. And I'm going to get another throw analysis done for probably before the end of the year, let's put it that way. So yeah, that's where I'm at really. So I've only just started this, and bearing in mind I've really improved the last couple of months. So part of me was like, well, don't change while you're progressing. But the other part of me is you've got to continuously try and improve. If you want to get better at this, you've got to put some intent into that. You can't just show up and throw darts and not think about it. So I'm trying to get better at everything, but focusing on certain things at a time. And this is one of them. So let's throw a few more of a warm-up. Now, one part I'm really struggling with, having taken this on, is where do I stand on the oche? So if I want to be lining my arm up here, so as my forearm goes back, before I was fighting. So as I'm here, I was fighting this and pushing this inside and trying to throw straight darts. As I'm doing it, my elbow, as you saw, was coming out anyway. So instead of doing that, I'm just going to keep the line. So my elbow should stay in the same position. But in doing so, I'm at a different angle. My arm is lined up with the board at a different angle, meaning I need to be somewhere different on this oche. So this might take some trial, this might take some... If I'm honest, any feedback in the comments on this, if you've experienced this, or you're experienced enough to give coaching advice, I would recommend it. Am I even on the right side? I feel like I am, because basically yesterday I was on this side, and this morning I've been on this side, and I feel a bit more better. And it makes more sense that this is lined up, I think. But let's throw some at 19s. Yeah, that sounds about right. My goodness, awful. I am a bit overexcited with this sudden change. So what I'm also trying to do is, yesterday I was purposely sticking the elbow out, which was also the wrong thing to do. I almost need to get into a natural position and not think about tucking the elbow in and let it be a natural movement. That's what I'm trying to get to. And I'm not surprised I'm struggling already, because I'm talking to you and thinking about it more. Whereas before, let's throw some more at 19. Just got used to not thinking about it. Couldn't hit the 19 there either. So I'm going to throw some 18s. So even 18s, I'm going to stay on this sort of left-hand side. Bit better. And yeah, I'm going to see how this goes. I think it's going to take some time to work out where on this oche I should be standing, if I'm honest, because I'm shuffling around. I'm basically not being consistent with it. 17s, by the way. Right, I think for the sake of the video here, let's go round this clock. Let's start at 20, just to throw some doubles and show you where I'm at, because the doubles are more interesting for me, because when you see me throw doubles around here, I do try and line myself up with what I'm trying to hit. Try and get this arm lined up, but in doing so, having tucked that elbow in, if I'm leaving it out here more, I need to be almost more on this side, right? So I've come over on this side, and we're going to have some throws at this tops. There it is. Now, am I too far on this side? Should I be more centre? Not sure. Let's go 19s. I'm going to go a bit more centre here. Lucky. But it's definitely going to be something I'm going to experiment this week, see how I get on in my training. I played some doubles training earlier. I got 16%, which is solid, but look, it's a one-off. You know, next time I come on this video, I might be doing something completely different, and I've realised that this doesn't work. But I do feel that it is the way forward for me. We're on 19s. Ooh. And look at this, the line there, lovely. I don't mind that. When I went around the doubles earlier, I was consistently in and around where I'm trying to aim. Oh. Terrible. See, I'm quite excited about it, really. Just something else I've discovered about myself and about my darts and about my throw. And maybe I'm doing it wrong right now, but I'm certainly focused on it and talking about it and trying to work out what I should be doing. Bit blocked there, to be fair. But it was quite interesting on that analysis, just so that it was quite an unusual thing. And I guess we all must have little quirks that we don't really know about unless we get an expert eye. Teens. Ooh, unlucky. Port. Port. Unlucky. So this side of the board is where I'm trying to work on. So when I'm doing my warm up now, off camera, I'm trying to hit treble 20s, trying to hit treble 19s, I'm trying to hit treble 18s, and then I'll try and hit double 16, which is my favourite, or the one that I'm trying to become my favourite, and then I'm trying to hit double 4 at the moment because it's my weakest double. And it sort of counts for that side of the board there. Oh, and I've changed the arrow, the K-Flex to blue. A little note there for you. Little note. I'd like to see these doubles improve this month. My scoring's good. My scoring went from being my weak point to being very solid. I very rarely score less than 55, 60 in a match this month. So that's a significant improvement. My doubles haven't really improved, if I'm honest. So it would be good to try and get a bit more consistency. Shame about that last one. So yeah, getting better at doubles, trying to get better groupings now. I mean, like those, much better grouping. If I'm missing 18s, if I'm missing my doubles, I want groupings like that. If I'm missing it nowhere near, my darts are everywhere, that's not what I'm after. That would be disappointing. Oh, unlucky. So yeah, this is not really doubles around the clock today, but just more of a showing what I'm trying to work on at the moment and that little discovery with my arm. Hopefully, over the next few weeks, we'll see some interesting results for it. There it is, 17. Ooh, unlucky. Right, we'll throw 3 at bull for old time's sake. We don't throw as many at bull at the end as we used to. So if I'm lining up and I'm trying to hit centre of the board, I've positioned myself just in the middle really. So my arm, as I'm throwing, is sort of to the left. Unlucky. I like that though. Lovely grouping, all in the centre of the board. So perhaps positioning some. So position on the Oche is what I'm going to be working on mainly at the moment, because I'm not really changing anything about my throw apart from let my arm sit in that natural position my elbow wants to be, which is sticking out basically, rather than me purposely trying to tuck it in and throw straight darts. I'm sort of letting it loose like a little wild boar out in the woods with those little tusks. That's what I'm after really. So thank you very much for sticking around, and I hope hope that was interesting. Maybe you'll take something from it, and yeah, have a wonderful day and enjoy your life.